Hey guys, so I just want to let you guys know what this video is going to be about so you can decide if it's something that you actually want to watch. So here is a closure wig that I made a long time ago, and it's time to replace the closure only, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the first thing that I am going to need, of course, is the closure that I'm going to replace the old one with. And this closure is from my brand House of Vain, and it's an HD closure, 16 inches. And the first thing we need to do to it is bleach the knots. Knots are these black dots that you see all on the lace that makes it look unrealistic, and if you don't bleach them before you install, they will be very visible. This is authentic HD lace. You can barely tell where the lace starts and where it ends. Where's my skin? You can't tell, and that's the point. This is the best lace that you can possibly use if you want the most realistic results on a wig or a sew-in, whatever the case. The first thing that I'm going to be using to bleach the knots is this Kaleido Colors bleaching powder. I kind of eyeball how much I add in, but I do have a very detailed bleaching knots video that you guys can go watch and, get measurements and all of that. And I kind of just eyeballed it until I got it to the consistency that I want, which is not too liquidy, or else it's going to seep through the lace and your hair is going to be blonde on the roots, but then again, not too thick so that it's not spreadable. So you want it like kind of like how I have it here. The next thing I did was use a butter knife to spread this bleach all over the bottom of the lace. I'm making sure that I'm really covering up the hairline most importantly, but then again, you also do want to get deep into the lace and cover everything because you're going to be parting throughout the whole lace. And then I flip it over onto an aluminum foil sheet and I close that, and I kind of leave it there for about 30 minutes or so. After 30 minutes was up, I did take the closure and I washed it out. You can see the exact steps that I take to washing it out in that video that I told you guys about, and these are your knots afterwards. So again, here is this old wig. This wig is about 2 years old. The bundles on this wig is from House of Vain as well, and this is going to be her third closure replacement after 2 years. So as you can see, the part is getting wide and it's spreading and it's shedding, which is normal. So you just want to replace the closure, and I specifically construct wigs in a way so that when it's time to replace the closure, I could easily just part out where the closure is, and I have more than enough space on the cap to add a new closure, and it's not going to be lumpy and sitting right on top of the tracks, which makes it impossible to make it lay flat. And all I have to do now is unsew the old closure so that I can sew on the new closure. When you unsew the closure, you also will unsew the elastic band, but that's fine, we'll put that back too. So Vanessa's wig, Vanessa's head is about 22 centimeters circumference. So when you do a closure replacement, you want to put it back on a mannequin head that is the size of the person's head that is wearing the wig. So I got this wig back on, and I'm going to T-pin it so that I have enough space to perfectly put the closure in the center of it. And once I have all of that fit how it's supposed to fit, I go ahead and T-pin the closure down as well so that when I'm sewing it, it doesn't move. And I T-pin it on the front, and I also T-pin it in the back in the middle of the closure. Once I have everything in place, I just go ahead and I start sewing my wig down. I actually have a video where I show you guys exactly how to make a wig like this one. It's bundles in the back and a closure parted in the middle. And if you don't know how to sew, I also do go in way more detail than I'm going in right now. I go in way more detail in that video about how you sew, and I'm not going to be doing that in this video. So only thing that I will say in this video is that when you're replacing a closure, you do want to, I like to sew underneath. So I hold my needle so that the needle looks like a U, not like a hump, if that makes sense. And then I go underneath the cap, and then I go underneath the lace as well. And that way I feel like the lace lays on top of the cap, and the cap is not really laying on top of the lace, and it just makes it all look flatter and more seamless at the end. I sew one side all the way until I get to one T-pin. I also did T-pin the two sides of the closure in the back and T-pin the middle of the closure in the back. But once I finish sewing down one side, I go to the other side to make sure that everything is going to be balanced and symmetrical, because if you just sew from one end to another, it might not lay right, if that makes sense. So just do one side and then go do the other side, and I think that will work best for you. Once I got the new closure sewed on, the next step is to add back the elastic band, or else this wig is going to be slipping off her head. So I'm going to use the same exact elastic band that was already on the wig, but to make it tighter just a little bit, I'm just cutting off the ends, not cutting off too much, or else it will be too tight and that'll give her a migraine. And once you get a headache from a wig being too tight, even if you take a pill, that's not going to help you because the damage has already been done. So I'm not cutting too much. Well, I didn't cut too much off the elastic band, and then I just go ahead and sew it back where it's supposed to be, which is on either end of the closure. And I also do go in detail about the placement of this elastic band in my how to make a wig video, so definitely watch it. After I sewed the elastic band back on, I did place the wig back on the mannequin head to do some very light plucking on this closure. I have two videos that show you how you should pluck, one of which is my technique and one is Arrogant Tay's technique, extremely detailed. So if you don't know how to pluck, or if you're struggling, I highly recommend you watch both of those videos, and I promise you, you will have a better understanding on how to pluck afterwards. Next, I styled the wig. You ever notice that the top of your wig is not laying flat? This is how you get it to lay flat, and I also have a separate video on how you get your wig to be flat as well, but I am showing you guys most of the things that I do in this video. The first thing that I do is apply some mousse to the lace, because the mousse is going to help you mold the hair in place. And once you have used the mousse and a comb to basically get the hair in the position that you want it to be in, you use the blow dryer on heat in order to get this back dry, and it'll be way flatter than it was originally. To go an extra step further and getting the top flat, I do go in with a wax stick and my hot comb. This is a new hot comb, by the way. I'll link it below. It's by Red, or it's called Red by Kiss, and it gets very hot. But as you can see, that's the difference between the old closure and the new closure. The old closure part was very wide. It was shedding. Like I said, that's normal. It's going to happen over time. And this is how a brand new fresh closure looks. And now I'm going to put it on Vanessa's head. We're not going to glue it down or anything. I'm just getting her hairline out the way so that I can put this wig right on. And yeah, she wears it glueless. She takes it off every day. She's been doing it for 2 years, so I'm not even gonna glue it down. I'm just gonna make sure that the closure is flat and that it's parted in the middle to make her life easier. And like I said, I use a wax stick and I use the hot comb in order to get it really flat, and then I cut it off in a zigzag motion just so that it doesn't look like no straight line across her hairline. That looks gross. And just to define her part a little bit more, I'm adding some makeup to her part. It's like a NYX powder kit or something. I did add some light layers into her hair to switch up her style a little bit. And I also have a very detailed video on how you cut layers, and I'll link that up here if you want to watch it. It's extremely detailed, so I do recommend that you watch that. And I'm just curling the ends right now, bumping the ends so that her layers could look a little bit more defined. And I do that to both sides. After I flat iron and bump the ends, I do go over some imperfections in the layers. And this is my favorite heat protecting spray. Like, it's the best one. It smells so good. It gets your hair so silky. It is great. It's great. Order that today. And everything is linked in my description box. So like I said, after I bump the ends, I do clean up the ends a little bit more with my scissors, and you can find all of that in that layering video that I have up. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And if it's your first time, hey girl, hey, subscribe, like this video if you learned something. And yeah, that's how you do a closure replacement. Do not throw away your wigs, especially if you have good hair like this hair on your wig. Just take that closure off and put on a new one. Again, this hair is from my brand, House of Vain. I'll link a discount code below that you guys can use to order this hair. And this HD lace is like, it's not glued down. Do you see this? And the bundles on this wig are 2 years old. The bundle, your hair starts shedding and tangling after 6 months. This hair has been perfect for 730 days and counting. House of Vain has the best hair on the market. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, for your support, for 11,000 subscribers, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.